What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the BallGame podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Pete.
I'm Dean.
I'm Chris.
The divisional round of the NFL playoffs made up for an awful wild card weekend. What?
No, I'm having deja vu.
It's almost like we did this before, guys. We had a bunch of great games from this weekend that, were the polar opposite of last weekend. We got three games that were really quality games, and then one that was like maybe not so much. And of course, I gotta say, we had the greatest experience, me and Chris, at our first. I don't know is it your first NFL playoff game?
Indeed.
My first NFL playoff game, his first NFL playoff game, and we got the chance to go to Buffalo to see the Bills play the Ravens. Cold, snowy-ass Buffalo, but let me tell you, it was one of the greatest experiences of my entire life, and I would have it no other way. Chris, that Buffalo atmosphere at the stadium, Highmark Stadium, was one of the greatest things I think I've ever witnessed in my entire life.
It was the best thing I've ever experienced ever. I got punched in the mouth celebrating the Mark Andrews fumble, cut my lip open, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. Bills Mafia, I love you guys forever. You guys have a special, special, special place in my heart.
Yeah, the game was unbelievable. I mean, we got pretty much everything. We got a snow game. I mean, don't you just love a good snow game? Mina Kimes over there, what?
You want back into Bills Mafia? Is that what you're doing?
No. I told Bills Mafia to their face that I picked the Ravens. I told them
to live with that decision. You have to live with it for the rest of your life. That
The rest of the life is insane.
chose them for 4 years, and now you decided to jump ship weeks before you show up to Highmark
I can turn the cheek.
and watch them win.
I can turn the cheek. People make mistakes.
I rooted
Right.
for them.
No.
No,
No,
not turn the cheek.
you can't ride Josh Allen like the way you did
Yo.
and have it, and then just not pick him when the time comes. You can't have it both ways.
BK, have it your way.
I mean, look, I genuinely did think the Ravens were going to win this game. I turned out to be wrong, and I'm happy to be wrong. I'm perfectly happy to be wrong about
Yeah,
this.
but
That
you
shows
can't
that you
play
don't care
both.
about the podcast. So.
Yeah, you can't play both sides. You covered your bases.
If you're happy to be wrong, then you don't care
right,
about the podcast.
if the
and
Ravens
what you're
won, you
telling
would
the
have
people.
came here today being like, "Yo, I said the Ravens were gonna win, guys. I knew it. I picked them. Let's go." But now you're like, "Bills Mafia.
I love
It was
you
so cool.
guys.
Buffalo was the best. I love the fans. I'm a fan too. Accept me, please." It's not.
What do you want me to do? Come on this podcast and be like, "Yo, Buffalo is the worst place of
No,
all
you need to
time,"
stick to
because I
your-
picked the Ravens?
You need to. Yeah, you need to stick to your gun.
What? I
Yeah.
had a great
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, you're not allowed to.
No, Buffalo was awesome. Buffalo was awesome. I gotta say, I gotta call a spade a spade. I can't just say I hated Buffalo, the city and the town and all of it because I picked the Ravens.
I wanted to
It doesn't
come-
make sense.
I wanted
Because
to-
you're an idiot.
That doesn't make sense, Wagner. That does not make sense.
I wanted to come to the game just to meet Chef Kuso. That's it. That's it.
Kuso was sick.
Man.
I
know, it's like-
posted on Instagram he was sick, so we watched a game.
Man, where? That's so sad. Put the lava rub. Put that lava on. Come on. Right, Chris? Come on.
Put that lava on. I
Yeah.
want to try
You said
that.
something about crab cake, eggs Benedict.
We had crab cakes, eggs Benedict.
Chef Kuso would have made it better.
Yeah, the poked yolk was one of the places. The Odyssey was another place. We wanted to go to this place called Bar Bill, which apparently had the best wings in all of Buffalo. 2-hour wait, good things. So this is so difficult sometimes. When you
To try to remember what you said before.
yes, but no, Buffalo
we
was.
We recorded the podcast already. We got about halfway through and then realized our files were corrupt. So,
Yeah.
this
is a lot
bear
of
with
take
us
two.
a little bit. Yeah.
Bear with us
We're
just a
trying
bit.
to give you guys that same energy.
Yes. But yes, Buffalo was amazing. The tailgates were electric. I mean, we met a bunch of great people. Everybody there is just awesome, super nice. You walk into any place and it's Go Bills. You walk in, it's Go Bills. You walk out, it's Go Bills. And the work attire is all Bills Mafia stuff. Like you could wear a jersey to work. They live, sleep, eat, and breathe football. That's what it is.
Did you guys see the clip of like Josh Allen before? I think it was before or after every game, and he was like, "Go Bills, go Bills." You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So even Josh Allen's on that time.
Josh is the best, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was great food, there was great people, and it was
down.
absolutely electrifying. So,
Shit.
Nick,
so
before you
not me clenching my ass that you don't step on a wire.
So how cold was it really?
Yeah, was it like freezing or was it all right?
So Trunk said he was colder than he expected. I thought the opposite.
I agree.
You were pretty bundled up though.
I
No,
thought-
I
You
was
had, like-
very warm.
I thought
Yeah.
we did a good job bundling up, and like I was like it was cold obviously, but like it was manageable. I wasn't like, oh,
You brought hand warmers and stuff,
freezing,
like-
yeah. My toes got cold.
Yeah,
We
that's something
put-
that I always forget
I
too.
brought,
Would you wear
the toe-
sneakers?
Boots.
Wow, you
What,
wore
like
like
Tim's
Tim's?
or
Yeah.
Tim's?
Tim's is supposed to be like insulated too.
They
It
are.
depends.
It was,
if
my
you get, like
my
the furry
toes got
ones.
cold. Lav bought like the toe warmers.
Of course
that,
he
like,
did. Yeah,
No,
he
shout
would
out to
buy a
him.
toe
Yeah,
warmer.
I had 2 of them in each shoe. I had one on the bottom of my feet and one on the top
Still
of my
cold?
feet. I was warm once I did that, but like we got to the tailgate and we were there for maybe like 30 minutes tops before I was like, holy shit, like I gotta put something in my feet. My feet are freezing.
So it took me a little longer for my feet to get cold. I had hand warmers in my pockets, and then like midway through the game, I was like, "Yeah, this ain't gonna work, bro." Like my foot started getting numb and shit.
You
so
put it in your foot.
I took the hand warmers in my pockets and put them in my shoe, and like slowly they made their way down to my toes. And when they did, I swear I've never felt a better feeling in
I
my
also
life.
just have like cold feet syndrome, I guess, because
I do too.
My feet are cold
in
right
the
now.
Car
honestly.
ride home, I guess, because Lav had the defroster, so like from the top half of the car going up, and he didn't have like the feet heat on. Bro, my feet were numb in the car ride, like
There or on the way back?
On the way back, like freezing, bro.
How was the stadium on the way out? Was everybody just going like nuts? What?
Quick story.
We didn't get this on this is
Yeah,
perfect.
So quick
Good.
story time
I'm glad you
before
said
we
that.
get into the analysis of the game. So we leave the stadium. So granted, backstory. My phone's on 1% from before.
That's the worst when you're leaving a stadium and you gotta call an Uber. And
My
shit.
phone's on 1%
That happened to me before.
from before we walk into the stadium for the game. My phone, because I get the Twitter notifications.
And
like,
it eats up your battery?
My phone
That
dies
happens to me
fast,
too, yeah.
So my phone's on 1% before we even get into the stadium. So
Yeah.
I had no phone all game. We're leaving the stadium. I'm thinking like, all right, like we'll go to wherever. Every stadium has like a Uber drop-off pickup.
Yeah, like an
section,
area,
right,
yeah.
Right. So we'll, go with the crowd, find an Uber, taxi, drop-off, pick
Follow
up,
the crowd,
whatever, and get in a taxi. We're walking. We're with the people. Go Bills. Let's go Buffalo. Yeah. Some guy in the car says, taxi. I'm like, oh, taxi, great. Can you fit 4 people? He's like, absolutely. They're walking ahead of me. I'm like, guys, taxi. Like, should we get in? They're like, no, I don't want to wait in the traffic. I'm like, but this is where
It's
the,
warm in there.
This is where the Ubers
It's
and the
warm.
taxis are. They're like, no, we're gonna walk. We're gonna walk a little bit. I'm like, well, and so we start walking and see a taxi. So now I'm like, are we gonna like try and walk back to the Airbnb? Okay, let's see how far of a walk it is. An hour, 45-minute walk to the Airbnb. That's not happening. That's not happening.
Hour and 45-minute walk.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let's just get on a side street. Like, let's just get on a side street, see if we can maybe call an Uber and
Right.
like,
So-
they'll meet us over here.
It's gonna be just as much money, honestly.
so
yeah,
They're cheaper than the taxis, but
thinking,
A little bit,
I'm thinking, great. So we're gonna walk away from where all the taxis are in the cold, find a side street. Now, instead of waiting in traffic in a heated taxi, we're gonna stand on the street and wait for the taxi to get through all that traffic and then get us. Right. So
unless there's someone coming from another way, like that's what my thought process was. Like, I'm like, maybe someone's coming from like the other way or something. Like,
but logically,
because there's a highway right there.
The Bills playoff game just ended, so all the Ubers and the taxi in the city of Buffalo are at the stadium.
Yeah.
Because that's where they're gonna make their money.
Right.
Right. There's no one coming from any other way.
Maybe.
Yeah.
There just wasn't. So I'm heated. I'm like, these guys are fucking idiots. So like, why are we doing this? There was millions and millions of taxis by the stadium. We walked down, so we're like walking along the highway of the stadium. We walk down a side street. We're like, all right, let's get to the end of this block and call an Uber. The end of that block was another highway.
Yeah.
So it's like sick. Yeah, some Uber will come down this fucking highway and get us, right? So now we're on this side street and my phone's done. Matty J has battery, but doesn't have service.
Yeah.
Trunks is
Yeah.
Trunks is like, you guys know how Trunks is when he's drunk. When Trunks is drunk, he's just
He's not capable of doing a goddamn thing.
He's useless. He's texting the huzz. He's giggling like he's useless.
Yeah.
He's literally useless. Just walking, literally pacing back and forth, giggling, not contributing anything to our journey home.
No, not a single thing.
I actually love when Trunks is in that mode, though.
I
hate
it depends.
I actually hate it more than
depends.
anything.
You hate it? I love
hate
it.
more than
I
anything.
love it.
When we're trying to do so, like if we're like
trying to like accomplish a mission.
Yeah.
It's like not
I'm
right now.
I
Like,
don't need that.
we're
but
stranded on the side of a highway in
Lav
Buffalo.
has like 6% on his phone. Lav's like, all right, I'm gonna call a Lyft. He calls the Lyft. The shit says like 20 minutes until it'll pick us up.
Nah.
And we're like,
I'd be tight.
and Matty's just like, all right, like let's walk back to where we came from so I can try and get some service.
Yeah. So I'm like, yo, let me try to get
walk
service.
back to where you-
Hold on. I'm like, let me try to. I'm gonna start walking that way a little bit. See if I can get service. Maybe we can figure something out.
You know how you guys probably looked? Like from like an outsider view, just
Yeah.
like, oh, you guys like
Stupid.
Trunks texting Huz. It was live. I heard there was a live crash out.
Oh, just wait. We're getting there. We're getting there.
So
We're getting there.
This Lyft, it says 20 minutes until it like connects you with a driver. Like,
Nah. He had a driver. I think he had a
whatever
driver.
it was. We're like, all right, let's walk back so Matty J could get service. Maybe we could call an Uber and it'll be faster than 20 minutes.
Okay.
We're cold
Or
and
so Lav's phone doesn't die.
we're cold and ready to go home.
You're lucky the phone didn't stop working.
We start walking, and Lav's standing at that.
Bro is saying to us, yo.
He's like, we can't leave. The Uber's coming to this spot. Like, my phone's gonna die. Like, we have to be at this spot because my phone's gonna die. We're not gonna be able to tell him if we go anywhere else. We just ignore him.
No. So
basically.
I said to him first, I go, he's like, should I cancel it? I go, no, bro. I'm just gonna walk back that way. Like, we'll come back to the spot in due time. Like, even if your phone dies, at least we know where the meetup
Whichever's
spot is.
quicker, just
I'm
cancel
like,
the other one.
we have 20 minutes. We're good. It's not like we're going all the way across the other side of the stadium. We're just going down the block. So
the three of us start walking. Lav's still standing in that spot, and we just all hear from behind us. So should I fucking cancel?
there's people across the street, not 10 feet from him. So he was like, and I felt bad. Like, I understood where he was coming from. Trust me, I
You
get
gotta
it.
remember, it seems like up to this point he hasn't had an opinion on anything, and was like, "All right, I'm gonna take this into my own hands." Found the solution, and then you guys just walking away from him.
No.
Like, I understood why he was crashing. I was pissed.
But-
I was fucking pissed.
But here's the thing.
You
Like,
had a Band-Aid hanging on.
Yeah, I was
like-
You just walk around with a Band-Aid.
Bro, like, I know,
It's in the wind.
yeah, I mean, I know my
It was not,
parents.
at that point, it was frozen. It was just like
Yeah.
this. It was just like
I
sticking
ripped
out.
it off once it started hanging
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
And like, I know my parents watch these sometimes, so sorry, but I got my vape snatched in the first quarter by a security guard on the field.
Tough.
He was on the field. He said, "Give it to me." I turn around. I'm like, "Me?" He's like, "Give it to me, or don't make me jump up there." I'm like, I'm like, all right. So I haven't had a vape the whole game.
bro is
so
on
like,
the field looking at Chris like, yo, give me that. Give me that.
He
And we're
owned
just
the-
like, bro,
he owned
what?
the field
Like,
to
what?
the yard. His job is to make sure people don't run on the field. He saw me vaping. He said, "No, I'm not having that."
Outdoors
Was he
too.
young or old?
He was old.
He was a little older.
So
yeah.
like, I didn't have a vape for the entire game. So my lips cut open. I'm cold. We're hungry. We brought sandwiches to tailgate with. We forgot to eat the sandwiches. We threw them out before we went into the game. So we
No.
haven't eaten in like, we didn't get any food at the stadium. So we haven't eaten in like 10 hours.
You guys eat at the tailgate or no?
no.
We brought sandwiches
said
to eat
we-
at the
we-
tailgate, and we ended up not eating them.
Yeah,
We ended
yeah.
up just throwing them out. So we're starving. We're cold. My lip is cut open.
So Lav
Your
eventually
toes are cold.
Lav eventually cancels the Uber because or Lyft, whatever it is, because now he's pissed. And this whole after Lav's crash out, this kid drunk Trunks starts giggling.
Nah.
He's
The
just
drunk Trunks
giggling.
giggle.
Bro, Trunks is just like, and then he starts like laughing, and he's looking me in the eyes, and I'm just like, bro,
You can't
please
not
stop.
laugh
I'm
when
like,
he's
please
doing
stop. I don't want to laugh right now.
does that, you
Trunks
can't
is-
not
I
laugh.
start
Lab
dying
turn-
laughing.
Lab tournament goes, What's with these guys?
He goes to Trunks, who is laughing in his face, and goes, "What's with these guys?" What do you mean? What do you mean? He's the only one not contributing
Trunks is
anything.
being the least supportive right now.
So then we get to and I wish this story was over, but it is not. So we get to the end of the block, and all of a sudden we have this woman wearing a Lamar Jackson jersey.
Lamar Jackson just spawned out of
Spawned.
nowhere, out of the
Spawned.
darkness, and she's just with us. She's just standing on the corner waiting for the Uber with us. Like she's just a part.
gonna
of the
hop in
gang.
your car and
Yeah,
come with you guys?
She was just a part of the gang. Like
I finally
came out of nowhere and was just there.
I finally called an Uber, and it was like 20 minutes away. So we're like, all right, we're just gonna we'll see if we can find a taxi, whatever. Bro, this one person like starts to switch lanes. Some guy's flying down, takes this guy's mirror clean off. Clean
Your
off.
Ubers?
No. Like
just random guys
random
coming down
people
the
in
highway.
traffic, right in front of us. Takes a guy's mirror off.
Keeps
and
driving?
Keeps driving. Flies. Gone.
Oh my god.
So, and then we have a
shouldn't laugh.
random
That's
guy
fucked
just
up.
walk in front of us and say, "Oh, that was crazy."
Sounds like a Gallo thing.
It was
Whoa,
literally,
man.
it was literally like just one random event after another. And honestly, we then got a great taxi driver.
Yeah,
Shout out
taxi
to that
came out
guy.
of thin air. We saw some guy coming down the block. He started to slow down. I'm like, oh my God, this is it. This is it.
No
This
way.
is it. I walk up to the window. He's like, taxi. I'm like, you fit 4 people? He's like, yeah. Where are you going? Told him where we're going. I'm like, how much? He's like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, it has to be like $85. We were 12 minutes away. Like,
$25 each?
I think he saw you guys
12
were
minutes
like
away
in the
from the
middle
house?
of
Yeah,
nothing.
he said $85.
And definitely took
I
advantage
said,
of you.
I said, bet. I pulled out my wallet. I gave him $100. I said, here, keep it.
Yeah.
He let me use his phone charger in the car. He let me hit his vape. Shout out to that guy.
Bro, the
No
guy was a
way.
legend. He was having full-on conversations with us about like
He was from Bangladesh.
he was from Bangladesh
wasn't
and
a
like
Bills fan.
his family and stuff. He doesn't really follow football like that, I'm gonna assume. But
was
yeah,
a
nah, he
business
was.
trip.
We were having good conversation with him. It was a good time.
Taking a business trip to Uber at the stadium. He's from the stadium. Drove to Buffalo.
Business
Uber.
trip.
Yeah, and then we made it back, and that was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was only a 12-minute ride from the stadium?
Yeah.
How was the
$85
Airbnb?
is
It looked
crazy.
nice in
cool.
that one
Yeah, it was
picture,
cool.
yeah.
The Airbnb was nice.
It's cool.
The Airbnb was good.
Wow.
What'd you guys eat?
Buffalo.
What'd you guys eat that night? Sorry, I'm real. I'm all
Bro,
about this food.
They ate leftover bagels.
I
They
ate 2
tried-
bagels.
So
Bagels?
I got back. I'm like, yo, like I'm ordering Wendy's. Who wants? Everyone's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. All right. I'm like, all right. So I ordered Wendy's for myself.
It got there. Everybody was like, "Yo."
They tried to order McDonald's, the two of them, Matty J and Trunks. They figured out what they were ordering. They ordered the special 40 nugs, 2 large fries for like $20, the deal. They're like, oh my God.
Each of
oh my
us.
God, we're going to have so many nugs. They're hyped. Trunks goes to order it. It says they're no longer taking delivery orders. So they were beat.
shit.
Wow.
They just went to, at my Wendy's. So
I went straight to bed.
So I ordered.
What time is it at this point?
12,
12,
15.
Oh, at night?
Yeah.
Oh, because the
12,
game started at 6 o'clock, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
6:30.
So I ordered Wendy's and I ordered water, a case of water from 7-Eleven because we finished all our water. So I got a driver. He went to the Wendy's drive-thru. He said this line was too long. I'm assigning your Wendy's to someone else. I'll just go get the water for you. So we went. The water came
Had
like
water for dinner.
in due time. Guys at Wendy's, I'm texting him. I'm like texting him on the DoorDash. I'm like, yo, like, are you almost here? Like, he's like, there's 6 cars ahead of me in the drive-thru. So I'm like, all right, like the drive-thru must be crazy. Everyone's after the game. 15 more minutes go by. He got the food. He snapped a picture of the food. They all went up to bed. I'm just watching this guy on the DoorDash. He's just driving around in circles. I'm like, bro,
On
like,
what? And Wendy's?
in the Wendy's parking lot. I'm like, bro, like the Wendy's parking lot must be crazy. Like he must be trapped there. I'm messaging him. I'm like, yo, like, are you good? Like, like you eating my food? He's just not answering.
Food getting
bro,
cold.
it was an hour and a half went by from when I ordered. So I'm texting the DoorDash support. I'm like, yo, like, where's my food? I'm hungry. They're like, yeah, like we just tried to get in touch with your driver too. Like it said it's like 12:20 something right now. He's like, yeah, like his ETA is 12:50. Like and we're trying to get in touch with him and he's not answering. Here's the credit like for your meal. Your meal is paid for. I'm like, cool, sick. They're like, yeah, he should be there within the next half hour. I'm like, okay, cool, thanks. I end the support. I go on the app. I look, he's coming down the block. So he got there like
Oh, no
right
way.
after I got off with the support.
Oh, so you got your meal paid for, and you got your food. Wow.
Nice.
It took an hour and a half.
Took an hour
but
and a
I
half,
got
though,
my
yeah.
food, yeah.
Some might even call that a happy ending.
What'd you order?
The what's it called? The
Baconator?
Nah, the
Nah, no pretzel baconator?
ghost pepper ranch chicken sandwich.
Yo,
That's my shit.
I want that.
That's my shit.
Yo,
Damn, you tell me you got the lost
Hungry.
fry?
I'm
In the
Yeah,
drink?
the-
What? In the
Yeah,
drink?
the strawberry
What?
lemonade.
Bro, my
What?
stomach hurts.
I'm
So
Creamy
starving.
sriracha? What?
Starving.
Yeah. But yeah, that was our
That's good
experience.
stuff.
in
That's
Buffalo.
a fucking
it was a sick
well-rounded
trip. It
day.
was a
Great
great
time,
time.
Yeah.
Buffalo, thank you for the hospitality. You guys are all
Bills
amazing.
Mafia, my family.
You guys are all
You guys want
amazing.
to shout out your friends?
To the people in front of us,
Don't
to
know
the
their
people
names,
behind us,
bro.
y'all know who
I
you
really
are.
don't know their
I don't
names.
remember their names either.
We told them to watch the podcast, so hopefully.
And
they
one of them
watch.
kept yelling out loud. The guy behind us was literally like in love with us, bro. He goes, "Follow Ball Game Pod!" like screaming it, bro.
Shout
We're
out
like,
to
Put up, like,
him.
our latest short on Instagram. On YouTube. He's like, their last video on YouTube, 4,000 views.
oh my god.
Shout out to that guy.
Nah, shout out to them. They were all
Bills
great.
Mafia looks awesome, man. I got a couple friends like from college that are
Bro.
Bills fans and like some of my best friends ever. So
To next year.
Bill's got a good flavor, man.
To next year, we will be back. We will be back. I plan on going back to some Bills games. But we do actually have a game to talk about. We don't just have a trip to talk about. We have a game to talk about. In the snow globe of Highmark Stadium of Buffalo, the Bills pulled it out, 27-25 against the Baltimore Ravens. They got outgained, but they didn't get outplayed. They won the game, and they're going to the AFC Championship to battle their demons, to end the drought, to defeat the Giant Slayer in Pat Mahomes.
What?
Move the mic.
It's all right, bro.
It's okay, buddy. Don't worry.
I feel so defeated.
To beat
You were doing good.
I was doing so
you
great.
did great, but it's
Dang.
okay. You know, you went through like 3 hours of this stuff now, so
I know.
you got this, Dean. You got this.
Nick. Nick.
Yeah, right. It's all your fault.
No reason. Yeah, good.
Jeez.
You guys don't even know why I'm laughing.
Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills get the chance to take on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship. 0-3 in the playoffs is Josh Allen against Mahomes. He finally has a chance to battle the demons, to change the narrative around the Buffalo Bills. 0-4 in Super Bowls. They got to get past this guy to get there in the first place. So, something they haven't been able to do to this point, but this game was absolutely electrifying. It was awesome. It came down to a 2-point conversion that slipped out of a certain somebody's hands. Lamar Jackson, 2 turnovers. 2 turnovers, and that seemed to be the theme of the weekend in all
turnovers
football.
lost games this weekend.
Turnovers are losing football games in the playoffs. It's just that simple. Do not turn the ball over. And I think the biggest storyline, more so than anything else in this game, is the evolution of Josh Allen. And this was an amazing game to watch. I mean, you got everything pretty much. But one thing you didn't get was a Superman performance from the guy who's long had to put on the cape. And I think that this is one of the biggest feathers in Josh Allen's cap this season is he learned how to just master the quarterback position. And what?
I'm sorry, you're spitting. That was cool. That was good. You didn't have to be Superman for the man who,
Yeah.
that was sick. That
They're
was,
all over the
that was a
place,
good
though,
one. That was a
bro.
good one.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm trying to recollect what I was saying for the first time, but you just got to
You don't
kind
have
of
to
let it go.
repeat it. Just get us somewhere, and we'll talk about something.
thought that was
Yeah, I'm gonna
Start
finish
with
with
the
this.
Bills?
I'm gonna finish with this. Yeah, I'm gonna just say Josh was phenomenal. Lamar stopped turning the goddamn ball over, and what are some thoughts about the Buffalo Bills?
You didn't have to be flat.
Nah.
Anyway.
No, Sully was
All right,
cooking.
Let's talk
Well,
about. No, hold on.
Holding.
Let's get him. So you watched Josh Allen master the quarterback position, and you said, BallGame podcast, TikTok viewers, Ravens. Why?
Right. You just said you just acknowledged that you watched Josh Allen all season become the quarterback he's become.
Well, we know.
And you still bailed on him
We know
at his best time.
We know
Like,
Sully
that's
loves
the biggest
Josh Allen.
takeaway from this game is it's not that the Bills won. It's not that Mark Andrews dropped the ball. It's not that Lamar Jackson is the James Harden of the NFL. It's that you folded on business.
Look,
Well, all right.
We're not letting you get out of this.
no, that's fine. That's fine.
I feel like I'm like the feel bad mediator here.
No,
with
no,
this
no, no,
and
no.
the Mark
Feel
Andrews
bad
drop.
I don't want you to feel bad.
He shouldn't feel bad. No one should feel bad for you.
Look,
Not even feel bad. But I just know you love Josh Allen, so there's a slight.
I do. No, I mean I'm
It's not a misinterpretation, but like you did jack like
No,
the
I-
Ravens.
I said
but
that
you
the-
also jacked Josh Allen, so it's like where's
Definitely
that?
was Jack and Josh Allen.
Where's the sweet meet the sour? You know what I'm saying?
I said that the Ravens were going to win this football game, and I turned out to be wrong. My thing is, and I'll still hold firm to this the Ravens lost themselves this football game. In the premise of what I was saying, the Ravens, matching up with the Bills' weaknesses, that came true. Like, they ran the hell out of the ball. They ran all over Buffalo.
Yeah.
And the offense just kept moving the football. They didn't punt. They averaged more than 10 yards per pass. They averaged around 6 yards per carry. I mean,
That shit's mad cute.
it is. And they turned the ball over on multiple occasions. They beat themselves. The premise still makes sense. I took the Ravens, and I'll stand on that. But I've been a big Josh Allen fan, and I'm happy for him. I'm not taking his victory lap. I'm just saying I'm happy for Josh that he got this win and has the chance to now go to Arrowhead and beat.
But you don't then get to claim it. You don't then get
No.
to be like, yo, I'm Josh Allen this, Josh Allen that. If he wins next week, be the biggest Josh Allen fan. And I knew it the whole time. You didn't because you.
I'm not gonna come on here and
You
say
can't-
that I knew it
then
the whole
you
time.
can't. And that's it. You're
I'm
saying
standing
right now
here saying
today-
I thought the
you're
Ravens were
saying
going to
right
win
now
the football
today
game.
That you pinky promise me
Not
that
the
you're not going
pinky
to show
promise.
up next week. Let's say the Bills win. You cannot hop back on. You're off. That's it.
If I pick the Bills in this game,
That's it. You already lost. You already you
They're
picked
not
against
gonna
them and they
forget.
won.
That shit has like over 200,000 views on TikTok.
it
They're
does,
not gonna
it does.
forget, bro.
You can't switch up now.
what?
You
So do I
made-
just have to buy into the villain
And I
role
know
now?
for
Like,
a
is
fact,
that?
I know that he checked you and you definitely said, "Yo, you're not picking Josh Allen, your boy." He warned you, and you still did it.
Yeah,
and
he
now you
warned
can't
you.
hop back on. Let's say they win, you're not gonna hop back on. It's not fair. Bills Mafia, you deserve better than a guy like this. Do not let him back.
So I said another
I think
thing
I'm
I
looking
said
at the
was
wrong
I said
camera. Do not let him back.
Josh was going to have another masterclass, and it didn't even take that to win this game. It was just, managing the game, not turning the ball over, and that's how they beat the Ravens. I mean, Lamar, awful pick to Taylor Rapp. Gets a bad snap, fumbles the ball. And then you have Mark Andrews, who is just, trying to be prime Barry Sanders, running around 2 or 3 guys.
He was the worst of them all.
And then gets it punched out. I mean, look, Mark had a good game in terms of receiving. Dude looked
Gets
young
my
again.
Face punched in.
Well, he gets no excuses. You're in the NFL. This is what you're paid to do. There's no excuses. You can't fumble that ball. Fine, it happens. You got to forget about it. You go and then drop the 2-point conversion to tie the game and essentially end it ended the
It
Ravens
ended their season, yeah.
right there. 2 straight drives, you have pivotal mistakes. It cannot happen, Mark Andrews. It cannot. I feel bad that whatever people are attacking him. You got to do your job. On the biggest stage, this is what you live for, and you fall short twice in a row. It can't happen.
I feel bad. What'd you say? Mark Andrews' girlfriend had to deactivate her
Yeah, so
account or something.
Mark Andrews' girlfande had to deactivate her Instagram account because of hate
But
comments.
whatever, you got to do your job.
Hey, look, you're paid to be one of the 3 best tight ends in the NFL. Look, you've long been one of the 3 best tight ends in the NFL, and then you try to do too much.
Right.
You fell into the Lamar Jackson syndrome. You tried to do too much, and it came back and it bit you. So
Honestly, I don't even know if it's trying to do too much. I think it was just
on that
Well,
run,
the
he was
fumble
trying to
he
do
did.
way too much.
Fumble, he was doing too much.
the fumble, but not the.
Imagine Travis
the
Kelce
2-point
does this. Imagine George Kittle does this. This is unacceptable for an elite level tight end.
Yeah,
This is unacceptable.
Kelce would get ripped.
And Mark Andrews is no exception. It's not acceptable.
I agree. I'm with you on that. I think Lamar has to look at the other sideline in this one and take a lesson from this. Josh Allen and what he is now. Jeez, Nick. You all right over there, buddy? He has to take a lesson from Josh Allen in this one to where it's like, just play complimentary football. Your defense isn't playing a bad game. Your running backs have been running wild all over Buffalo. And your turnovers, cost you the game, cost you field position, and just you can't have that. You can't have that.
This is the biggest point that I have made that I think is the epitome of Josh Allen's evolution, right? It's his ability to now make the decision whether or not he is going to be the guy or has to be the guy, and when to back off, when to be Superman, and when to be game manager. And he has had the perfect combination of both this season. He's had multiple wins in both fashions where he's taken a step back and let James Cook do his thing. He's taken a step back and let Ray Davis cook against the Jets. You know, we've seen Josh Allen also be Superman and go for that big home run rushing play and bulldoze people through the end zone. He does it all. He's had the best season that he's had in his career this year. He's limited the turnovers. This is the Josh Allen year.
Yeah, I mean, I said it in the Shadow Realm pod, but it's what Josh Allen has, and it's why, week after week, you guys could watch our old stuff. I've said it week after week. I was low on the Bills coming in. I will admit I was wrong about them coming in, but, it didn't take long for me to be back on the Bills thing. I'm in full gear.
In the full uni.
Yeah, but week after week, I've said that this is their best chance to, beat the team in red and match up with the team in red. And it starts with Josh Allen and his mastery of the quarterback position. And everything that the Bills have done this year is very reminiscent of what the Chiefs have done over the past few years. Whereas you lose a Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes has to learn how to play complementary football and flip the switch on and off at different points in the game and rely on the run game and rely on the defense and just not make mistakes. And we're seeing that with Josh Allen. I mean, it wasn't pretty in this game. 127 passing yards, 5.8 yards per attempt. Didn't throw a passing touchdown, but he didn't turn the ball over. And like we said, that was the theme of this weekend is it was protecting the ball. All 4 teams that lost this week outgained their opponent in total yards. So total yard shit don't matter. Protect the football. And Josh Allen's doing that at arguably the highest level in the league this year, given the volume of plays he needs to make. The way obviously Justin Herbert I think had the lowest turnover to touchdown interception ratio, but in terms of the volume of what Josh Allen has to be for this offense, I mean he's doing it at the most efficient clip of his career and arguably the most efficient clip in the NFL. And like I said, you look at the box score, it's very reminiscent of the Chiefs to where the Ravens running game was more efficient. Lamar Jackson, 6.5 yards a carry. Derrick Henry, 5.2 yards a carry. They had more total yards than the guys on the Bills. But Josh Allen, 10 for 20, 2 yards a carry. James Cook, 17 for 67, 3.9 yards a carry. It wasn't efficient, but when they needed it, it was there. And it made those, second and longs, third and manageable. It made, third and manageable, fourth and an inch for Josh Allen, touch push, whatever the case may be. And it is very reminiscent of the Chiefs where it's not an efficient run game, but it gets the job done and makes the job easier for everyone else to where you're able to put points on the board consistently and then rely on the back of your defense to force turnovers, which they forced 3 of them. So
Right. And I think that Josh Allen's evolution is the biggest difference between him and Lamar, the step that he took this year, right? Because I think Lamar is still part of the Joe Burrows of the world, which is not a bad place to be. Still the Justin Herberts of the world, like top 10, but you're not in a tier with Josh Allen. You're not in a tier with Pat Mahomes. Those guys are a tier above. And until Lamar Jackson can get into a space where he can confidently switch between game manager and superhero, because he shows a lot of superhero. We know what Lamar Jackson could do. When he's playing his best, he could be the best quarterback in the league. But when he's trying to do too much is where he becomes mediocre.
yeah. And you see all the media heads saying, well, actually these past 2 playoff runs, Lamar Jackson's proving he could be a playoff performer. Why? Because he's putting up better box score numbers than he was with Greg Roman. The bar was so low. Sure, he had a cool box score in this game. He had 254 passing yards, over 70% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, and 114 passer rating.
But also to mention
That's
that was him making up for the turnovers that he had earlier in the game.
Right, he had to do that to give them a chance.
To at least have a chance.
And it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
And, it sucks that Mark Andrews sold, but it wasn't enough.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to do that because of turning the ball over. And like we said, the fumble is the play I look at where it's a botched snap and, like you mentioned, it was a RPO play. The linemen were down the field, so he couldn't throw it. The thought process there is, all right, it's a botched snap, it's a broken play. Let me get as close to the line of scrimmage as I could possibly get and get the hell down. But he's bobbling the ball around he's thinking big play. I'm Lamar Jackson. I'm so fast, vroom, vroom. And then he forgets the football behind him. And that just can't happen.
No.
I mean, turnovers, obviously always for the history of football, you can't turn the ball over in big moments in playoff games, but we're seeing it on I feel like a larger scale more than
Yeah.
ever this year. Like the teams that aren't turning the ball over are the teams that are advancing. So.
Especially this weekend, it showed how much, like, obviously details matter in football, but, like, details matter in playoff football more than anything.
Yeah, I mean 4-0. 4-0 if you win the turnover battle this weekend. I mean,
And every one of those teams got
outgained.
Every one of the teams
Every
got
losing-
outgained, but
yeah,
they
yeah.
didn't commit a turnover. Played careful, smart football. Let the other teams beat themselves.
Yep. And
The other teams had to outgain them.
Right.
Because to make up for the turnovers.
That's what some people don't even. I love the way that, like, that's the way you look at it, because I never fucking thought of it that way. They had to have a
you have to
better
make
box
up for
score.
something.
for
You
what
have to
they
make
did,
up
yeah.
for something. So
So you're like, oh, well, they were the better team. It's like, well, no, they had to do that
Right.
to even have a
Right.
chance.
The Bills didn't have to.
Let's say you have a 50-yard
400.
drive, you throw a pick. You got to make up for those 50 yards
Right,
that you
yep.
didn't capitalize on.
Right.
Yep. So I'll close my thoughts with this. I mean, we talk about the mastery of the quarterback position now from Josh Allen, and it's simplified this year. There's one guy that's not there, and it's Stephon Diggs. You talk about a receiver who needs the football constantly. Like, I need my targets every game. Get me the damn ball. That's probably another 6 or 7 pass attempts at minimum in this game if you have a Stephon Diggs, because you need to make sure this guy's getting fed. So you talk about this evolution of Josh. It's more. I don't want to say Stephon Diggs takes away anything. He's amazing. We know Diggs and how good he is, but just the ease of the burden on Josh to not have to worry about looking that way and saying, I got to get him the ball. I got to get him the rock. So now this man could look at the whole field and say, oh, Dawson Knox is open. I'm going to get Dawson Knox the ball.
But in that same point, then he is a burden. That's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
If Diggs is on the field, you have to think twice about giving the ball to, Khalil Shakir over Stephon Diggs, because he's Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
And Stephon Diggs is going to let you know that he's Stephon Diggs. He's going to go to the sideline and let Josh Allen know. He's going to let the coaching staff know
Joe
that
Brady,
he needs his touches.
But that's also part of what's making the Bills so victorious this year is that they kind of had to have such an unpredictable offense, like you were saying, and that kind of that gives them the advantage because
Victorious.
I don't know, playing defense against a team that is so unpredictable.
It's a great show. But yeah.
Playing defense against such an unpredictable offense is just it's so hard, bro. It's such a different ball game. Whereas say your
Roll credits.
That was
Roll
ball game.
credits. But yeah, I agree. I think it's made the quarterback position so much easier for Josh.
Like we were
and
saying, it's something that the Bills and the Chiefs are having in common this year. Is they're both so unpredictable offensively, with all their circumstances.
Yep.
That obviously that's kind of leading them to win.
Right.
When you have a really good quarterback,
It doesn't have to be
center.
Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs against the world.
Right.
It could be the identity is Josh Allen and the Bills, not Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs.
Kush
And
Kier,
the
James
and
Cook,
the
Ray
rest
Davis,
of the team. Yeah. Exactly.
You'd rather be
Kincaid,
that way, right?
Knox. They're everybody. I'm just naming the whole fucking
Everybody
roster,
eats,
but,
man. Everybody eats.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I said before, Khalil Shakir's just happy to be on the field. I'm sure he's.
I've
just-
seen Keon Coleman.
He's a baller,
have some big
dude.
fucking
Right.
plays this year, and you're and they won those games.
Yeah.
It's like you don't need to have superstars all the time in every team.
I'll leave it on this before we move on to the next game. All the questions that are going to be asked about Lamar Jackson for the entirety of this offseason, rightfully so. I think and granted, we're playing in an era with Pat Mahomes. It's going to be difficult for everyone. But I think you look at a guy like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes is the thing holding him back. And, we'll see if he can get past that this weekend. That's another conversation. Patrick Mahomes is the thing holding him back. You look at a guy like Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's holding Lamar Jackson back. It's not a Patrick Mahomes thing. It's not that he's just running into the Chiefs. Lamar Jackson is folding it when it matters the most. That's been the story of his career. This is a guy who hasn't won consecutive playoff games in his entire career. That's a problem. It's a problem. In this game, again, the box score will say Lamar Jackson outplayed Josh
He was
Allen.
good as a passer.
Okay, sure. Yeah,
He was. I'm just
He
saying.
made the mistake.
That,
Okay.
but I'm just saying. But that's been the one thing that throughout the playoffs we've always seen Lamar
The
fold
one
in terms
thing
of
with Lamar
passing the
Jackson
football.
was can he not fold
Yeah.
in the playoffs? I don't care if you do it as a passer or as a runner. I don't care how you do it. Can you win games when it matters the most? He did not I don't care. He didn't beat that narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, and again, sure, his box score looks better than it did with Greg Roman as the OC. Obviously, when you have a run first coordinator who has not good passing plays in his
Yeah.
scheme, and then you add a guy who has good passing plays in his team, yeah, you're going to be better as a going back to last year preseason, we all knew Lamar Jackson was going to take a step forward as a passer. It didn't take a rocket scientist to know that. So I'm not moved by him having 250 passing yards in a playoff game. I'm not moved by it. Don't turn the ball over. Win the game. Win the game.
Yeah.
Win consecutive playoff games. Then we'll have a conversation about you, Lamar Jackson. Until then, every question, can Lamar Jackson get the job done when it matters the most is a fair question to have.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to it. I know you're going to go out and say Lamar Jackson could get one done eventually. Maybe.
It's weird.
He's gonna get one.
That's
He's
hard to say.
talented
I'm
enough.
telling you, he's gonna get
It's
one.
hard to say because he kind of did at the end of the game. Just the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, I mean, in the biggest moment of his career, he drove down the field and played great. He played fantastic on that drive. But you created this situation to where you were even having to do that. Yeah, you were even having to do that.
So it brings up a lot of
You
argument.
got to rely on Mark Andrews making a play
making a routine play, but a play.
Making
But he made two
almost
mistakes to put him in the hole.
potentially
Yeah.
like a hip catch. Like he kind of had to be
Sure.
Yeah.
turn.
And
catch
again,
it weird.
what's getting lost in the shuffle because Mark Andrews getting all the blame. All that was going to do was tie the game up and give Josh Allen the ball with 1:30 and 2 timeouts.
And then they would have got a field goal most likely. Yeah.
And Tyler Bass hit a 51-yarder earlier in
That's
the
a
game.
hypothetical situation,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, that wasn't to win the game. That wasn't to,
That was to give a chance,
change
yeah.
the narrative on Lamar Jackson. That was to give it a chance.
Good chance. Yeah.
Give it a chance. You have to stop them and then pray that the coin toss goes in your favor.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, look,
If it even goes into OT, and Josh Allen
Right.
doesn't do that. So
we just talked about the team that Josh Allen has yet to defeat. I mean, we mentioned them. The Kansas City Chiefs went ahead and won another playoff game. It just feels like they're inevitable year after year after year. They beat the Texans 23-14 in a game that I don't think anyone ever doubted. I think the Chiefs are just the Chiefs, and that's pretty much my breakdown of this game. They don't lose in the playoffs, and they don't lose in the playoffs to teams that they are so clearly inferior over. So, with all that being said, any takeaways aside from, this is just what they do?
the wins aren't always pretty, but they win. And like I was saying, it's kind of like fantasy football where it's like you just have to make it to the playoffs. The Chiefs do it every year, and then you just have to win in the playoffs, and then you have a shot at the championship. So that's what's happening
You
with
do
the
need
Chiefs.
to win in the playoffs.
I'm just saying,
to have a
you
chance.
just
gotta
have to
get the
just get
playoffs,
there.
and then you got to win in the playoffs,
Yeah.
and then you'll have a chance at the championship.
No, I'm
You're
just saying,
right.
but-
You're not wrong.
It was very based what I said, but I feel like they always
That's
squeeze
really
their
what
way
it is
there.
with the Chiefs. So I
just-
get
It is
their
that
way
simple
there.
with them, yes.
They just
It's
get-
that simple with them.
What was the score? 23-14.
23-14.
They won
That's
by
ugly.
they won by a touchdown, basically a touchdown.
2 possessions. They won by 2
They
possessions.
won by 2 possessions, but a
They didn't cover
squeeze.
9.5.
They didn't cover 9.
Yeah, because they ran out of the back of the end zone.
I think a good comparison to the way the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes operates is similar to how LeBron was for years. You manage games throughout the regular season. You don't do too much. You do what you have to do to win games to get there, and you turn it on in the playoffs. And Pat Mahomes is a master at doing just that. Something
Travis
that
Kelce,
Josh
too.
Allen just learned to do this year.
Yeah.
Is
Playoff
to manage
Travis
your
Kelce.
games, playoff Travis Kelce, manage your games, and become Superman when you need to be. That's exactly what great players do. They don't do too much and commit these turnovers and make mistakes. You turn it on when you need to, and you manage when you need to manage.
And nobody's better at that than number 15.
Right.
Yeah.
It
No, but
really
even-
is LeBron-esque.
Even though Chris was saying before that the 2 weeks really took off 5 years for Travis Kelce.
Yeah, it does.
He played, bro, and he played
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah, and I mean, the story of this game is going to be Patrick Mahomes, 7 AFC championship games in 7 years as the starter. That's the floor with him. The story is going to be Travis Kelce turning back the clock, playoff Travis Kelce, arguably the best playoff performer we've ever seen, ever, in the history of the sport. The story is going to be Andy Reid and his offensive scheme, but the MVP is Steve Spagnuolo, year in and year out for the Kansas City Chiefs, because this is a defense that every single year as the season goes on and on, they get better and better. And when the time comes for the playoffs, they hit their stride in the playoffs. And you look at this game, it was close for a little bit, It was obviously, no one had any doubts if the Chiefs were going to win this game. Let's be real. A close game with number 15, they're going to pull it out. That's just how it goes. But, when it got a little close there and the Texans had a chance to drive down and tie the game, whatever the case may be, Spags saw the weakness of the Texans. What was the weakness of the Texans? That offensive line. So what did Spags do? He turned up the heat. And then you look at a guy like George Karlaftis, had three sacks in this game. that, sure, George Karlaftis is a great player, obviously, in his own right, but that's Spags. That's all Spags. And, you know, you see on the Twitter, should Spags be a Hall of Famer? It's no question, you know, 5-time Super Bowl champion, going on 6 potentially.
Yeah.
As a coordinator, it's he's the best coordinator in the history of the sport.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the Chiefs. I really don't think it goes too far with them. Like, it's so simple every single time. And then to talk about the other side, I mean, you mentioned it before, and we keep saying that, but to get up to the podium, your 4 biggest leaders of the football team, and to talk about the refs, it's weak. It's very weak. And I don't think that sets a great precedent for you guys. Like, but I will say one thing. C.J. Stroud played a phenomenal football game.
He played good ball. Yeah,
I understand he didn't throw a touchdown or any of that. I get that. But C.J. Stroud, given the circumstances, played a phenomenal football game. Got sacked 9 times in this one, or 8. I believe it was 9. Sure. And still dealt on 3rd down. I mean, Nico Collins was awesome in this one too. So that's my only thought on that. But to get to the podium afterwards and to complain about the refs, that's not the reason you lost. It's not the reason you lost. So, yeah, I mean, I think you got CJ. You got CJ, bro. You're going to be good for a long, long time. But
I feel like that's like part of like a team's character is like at least when I played ball, it was blaming, complaining, defending were 3 things that you don't do amongst the team. So, like, that's literally blaming, complaining, and defending by, well, you're blaming the refs, you're complaining about the refs, and you're defending your case on why the refs were wrong.
on why you should have won the game.
That's not what winning teams do.
Yeah.
So, to kind of tell your point, it's not a way to have that's just not a way to be if you want to at least be a winning organization, by no means.
Yeah, it's weak as hell. It's a loser's mentality, and other teams around the league are going to see that the Texans, that's how they reacted to losing this playoff game. They're going to go into next year and point them out and say, these guys are soft. And they're going to stick it to them. And, yeah, I mean, I agree, though. C.J. Stroud played a really damn good football game. You know, my pregame analysis of the game was the way the Texans' offense is constructed. They're not good on 1st down. They're not good on 2nd down. They run the ball a lot on those early downs, and they don't do it efficiently. So this game is going to be a lot of C.J. Stroud 3rd and longs. And, I mean, Texans were 59% on, conversion rate on 3rd down. I mean, that's pretty spectacular given that it was a lot of 3rd and longs. I mean, C.J. Stroud was, he played a really solid game, and, it sucks they couldn't come out victorious, but victorious. But
I think
the City Chiefs, man.
I think that
You got to almost be better than perfect to beat those guys. Like,
yeah, no, you have to. I feel like the Texans next year got a bright light out of them. I don't think maybe just it wasn't their year this year. I think every year they're getting a little bit better.
Offensive line.
And I think by next year they'll be. Maybe they'll draft a couple guys. On
offensive line.
Talk about them being losers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just did. We just did. I'm glad that you were on your phone and missed that entire thing.
I was looking for track lighting. My bad.
Right now?
Thank you for trying to improve. Yeah, they are losers for that.
Yeah, but no, they have a great core in place. They have a bunch of young pieces. They have a great young defense. So
they're a young team. They're kind of like
filling in the gaps around the edges. And that type
O-line should be priority 1, 2, and 3. That's that. So
I think that was just the one game.
6.
No. That O-line's been shit all year. Shit last year. It's the weakness of the team.
Yeah.
It's the weakness of the team. So
we could fix that.
But look, that's not the only bright
right there. Lineman of the year.
Yeah.
Look, that's the bright star in the AFC. I mean, we have C.J. Stroud coming up over there, but there's a brighter star in the NFC.
Come
that is
on,
going
man.
straight to the NFC Championship. Jayden Daniels didn't just turn a team around. He turned an organization around. He turned a franchise around.
Come on, man.
And he is 1 of 1. He's a top 5 quarterback in his rookie season. He's in the NFC Championship.
I love Jayden Daniels, bro.
Jayden put on an absolute
love him?
masterclass.
I
love him?
I love him.
You put U.S. currency betting against him, brother.
Okay.
So you can't.
I also love the Lions.
What did I tell you about the Lions, though?
You did. Clip that. I full-heartedly, I fully came out here and I said, it's going to be the Lions versus the Chiefs this year. That's what I said.
It was inevitable.
It was inevitable. I said that's what's going to happen. There's no way it doesn't. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I didn't bet it, but I was going to. And
I tried to convince you otherwise.
but like we can't say like it was a lock that was going to happen. It wasn't.
No, I thought the Lions would
that's
win this
what
game.
should've
I really thought the Lions would win this game. That is that
They're gonna
game.
punch him in the mouth.
Well, you know what? Let me
That's what
tell
you
you. It should have happened.
Yeah.
And before we get into the good things about the Commanders, because I think there's a ton of good things about the
So
Commanders.
many.
The disdain that I have for the structure of coaching hires in the NFL, I think seriously affected this game. I think Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn both taking interviews simultaneously throughout the last few weeks, worrying about their next franchise, was a detriment to the team.
Dude,
Talk to him.
fuck that.
I think that
Why
on
is-
both
oh,
sides
sorry.
of the ball,
You know,
they had some of their worst
tough.
drives. They had the worst week of the season, and when it mattered most. And I think that those interviews really tainted what should have been a Lions win.
Go ahead, Pete.
Why is a wide receiver throwing the ball?
Oh, jeez.
Why is a wide receiver playing quarterback? Jamison Williams, I love you, and it's not your fault, bro. You're a wide receiver. Your job's to catch the ball, and apparently you're really good at running the ball, too. Your job isn't to throw the ball, so I don't blame you. Who the fuck's calling the plays? Who's calling the shots? Who are we trying to trick?
The new head coach
yeah.
of the Chicago Bears.
Who
Ben Johnson
are
was
we
thinking about how to
trying
use
to-
Roma Dunze.
Bro, who are we trying to fool, bro? Like, trick play guys, we're one score game, let's try and trick them. The fucking playoffs.
Let's try
The
to
playoffs are on the line.
trick 'em.
Let's try and trick them. We're gonna have Jamison Williams throw the ball. What the fuck? What are you doing? What? Why? Just like why? Like honestly, like I'm gonna cool down. Why? Like why are we doing that? Like, dude, could you guys like try and put yourself in the shoes of calling that play? Could you see why they would have called that play? Other than
You
running
just
the
said it, bro. It's a
other-
trick play to try and trick
Because he
him.
wants to expedite
are you
his
tricking,
freaking
bro?
press conference
Like-
with the Bears.
Yo, plenty of other things are working.
I mean, they just hit a 20-plus yard pass to Tim Patrick. You're getting golf and rhythm in.
Jahmyr Gibbs is steamrolling the Commanders. And you're trying to have Jamison Williams fucking throw the ball down the field? Bro, look, I know it was a long play. Maybe you don't give the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs to run because that would be trying to trick him too. But, like, let the quarterback throw the ball. Let the quarterback
Is
throw the
that
ball.
tricking them, though?
If it's like 3rd and long and like
handing it to your running back, is that really tricking them?
No, I'm
though?
saying if it's like a 3rd
It
and
was
long.
1st and 10.
It was first and 10.
first down,
No, it
I'm
wasn't
pretty
fir-
sure.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it
It
was.
They just got.
They
a big
just
gain.
got the Tim Patrick catch, and then they
Even fucking worse.
Yeah.
It's 1st and 10, bro. Give the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs. He will at least get fucking 5 yards. Maybe then you could do a little slant route to fucking Amon-Ra. He'll get the reception. Plenty of other ways you could have went about
offense
that.
coordinator right here.
No, bro,
it's a
I'm
great
really-
play
You
call.
hear that, Ben Johnson?
I'm really not, and I respect the Lions organization so much. I love that team, bro. I fucking love the Lions.
We know.
I really do love the Lions. I love seeing their growth and everything they've been doing. I love their players, bro. I really love the Lions. But what the fuck was that play, man? I feel like that brought down the morale, that brought down the potential momentum they could have gotten if they scored in that drive. It, like, practically ruined the game. Arguably, I'm more upset about that. Like, all right, so I'm not a Ravens fan and I'm not a Lions fan. But if I have to respect how the emotions of a fan of being either of those teams, I would be more upset that they had Jameson Williams throw the ball than Mark Andrews dropping that ball,
What
the
the
2-point
fuck
conversion.
are you talking about?
I'm so upset. I'm just saying that one play really upset me.
Yeah. I'm
You're
upset at
having
the
your
play
wide
call.
receiver throw the
That
ball,
play was
man. Who
terrible.
are you fooling?
I agree, but again,
It's just my opinion.
no,
I'm
I
really
agree.
emotional.
You're
Two,
entitled to your opinion.
3, 4 of them. Thanks.
Yeah, the theme of the weekend. Don't turn the ball over. And sure, Jamison Williams had a turnover, but I mean, Jared Goff.
I don't even blame him, too. I really don't.
I mean, Jared Goff, man. This is why you get paid the big bucks, man.
He's the quarterback, man.
Supposed to show up in these games,
And then the
and
Commanders dropped 45 points on their dome pieces.
you know,
In their
I mean,
dome.
no, 38 on offense. You threw a pick 6.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you had 3 picks and a fumble, and it's just 23 for 40.
2
like,
picks and a fumble. Right?
passing. Yeah,
Yeah, he
2 picks.
Oh, the
no,
Lions.
Jared Goff had 3 picks and a fumble.
No, J-Mo had the 3rd pick.
No, I'm
Wait,
looking
what?
at the box
Really?
score.
Did he really?
They had 5 turnovers as a team.
When was it?
There was a
when
lot
the
of
3rd pick?
turnovers.
The end of the game.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah,
Jared Goff had 3 interceptions and a fumble.
I forgot about that last one.
Okay. Jared Goff had 3 interceptions and a fumble. That's why you get paid the big bucks. And, you know, this is kind of the point I've been trying to make all year, and it's kind of why I was always hesitant on the Lions, and kind of why I was hesitant on the entire NFC is to do the big thing, you need elite quarterback play at the end of the day. And this year we're seeing elite quarterback play is kind of just protecting the football. That'll make you elite.
Goff has so many weapons to have made it happen too.
Yeah, I mean,
He has like you literally have everything you could possibly
Jared
need on
Goff
that
was
offense.
terrible in this game, man. He was terrible. And Jahmyr Gibbs was so great that he was making Jared Goff's job so easy that it was really just protect the ball, hit the underneath stuff, and we will continue to drive down these dudes' throats and score touchdowns. And Jared Goff, I mean, you look going into the half, I mean, they're driving down the field. You know, the Commanders have a
Doing
10-point
fine.
lead going into the half. They get the ball at half. You're driving down the field. Let's at least get 3 here and make this a one-possession game. And he threw a pick. And that didn't really come out back to bite them because the Commanders ended up not scoring on that drive coming out of half, and the Lions marched right down. But still just the principle.
No, but
of
it does.
Like,
It does hurt you.
Right.
Because that's 3 more points that you would have had on the board.
right. And,
At bare minimum. If not 7,
Yeah.
I mean,
the pick 6 was just terrible. The ball just sailed on him. Like, just a bad
that
ball.
was an awful decision. If it wasn't going to get picked there, it was going to get picked in front.
And I mean, the Lions have an offseason ahead of them, man. Like, you know, they have a great infrastructure. Obviously, they have one of the best rosters in the league, if not the best roster in the league. But you have to bring in 2 new coordinators. We saw the effect that had on the Eagles last year. And
with the coordinators comes all the assistants that are going to follow the coordinators to their new job.
right, and you should have real question marks about Jared Goff going into next season. I mean, trying to win a Super Bowl, and that's that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you just said. I want to take things back just real quick to what you said because I think it's a great point. I think you're 100% right. Coordinators should absolutely not be interviewing right now at this time when your team is in the NFL playoffs. What is this?
Why is it even allowed?
I think it's one of the worst things ever because then you take and granted, I know there's a lot of time in a day, there's a lot of time in a week. I get that. But when these guys are going for 4 or 5 interviews a week, that's a bunch more preparation time that you could potentially be taking away from these guys and their focus.
We're also all human beings. We know what multiple things on our plate could do to us.
Yes.
You know, we've all experienced being overwhelmed. That's an overwhelming situation, bro. If I had the biggest thing in my life coming up in a week, but I also had 5 other teams hitting me up for a job, and I have to go there, I have to physically walk in the building and take those interviews.
I think it's Zoom meetings.
Aaron Glenn walked into it was an in-person interview.
Are you
Walked into
serious?
Florham Park. Bro, this is
Why
real
is
stuff.
that allowed?
This is real
Wait
stuff.
until the fucking season's done. Like, is that like? Why is this like allowed as like an
This
NFL
is what we're saying.
organization?
This is what we're saying.
Yeah.
I don't. That just makes no sense. So, hey,
All
you know,
the coaching stuff should happen
I'm gonna
once
try
the
and win-
season is
Yes.
over.
Yeah.
I'm
Once
gonna
your
try
playoff
everyone.
run is over, if you lose in the divisional round like they just did,
No, I think for everyone,
Yeah.
it should all start at this. You cannot interview coaches until the NFL.
end of the
the
fucking
Super
season.
Bowl
Why
concludes.
are you able to
Yeah.
interview people to start a job next season while there's a current season?
Yeah.
It
going
also
on?
inherently gives the teams that are still playing, it puts them at a disadvantage. Like
Yeah.
the teams
really
in the playoffs,
fucked
like
up.
they can't hire their next coordinator until all the coordinators are already gone. Like Vrabel's already hired.
Lou Anarumo got a job.
They're already Jeff Ulbrich is already the defensive coordinator for the Falcons. Could have went to the there's a bunch of guys that the Lions could have
I
went
mean,
after.
all right. At the same time, I guess I kind of understand it to an extent too, because you are the top team in the NFL,
But you're the top team because you have 2 great coordinators
So,
who we all know
who
are
are
leaving.
going to be gone. Yes,
Right.
and let me finish this point. You now everyone's available, right? You're going to tell me Spags for example, Spags goes and takes a job elsewhere, or Ben Johnson goes and takes a job elsewhere. The best offense coordinator on the market isn't going to want to go to the best possible team to then give himself the best chance at. But I want that guy to go to not a significantly worse team, but like a team where he has to kind of build a little bit with, where we could potentially make this team better. It's competitive advantage. That's what it is. So you have these really
not
bad
fair.
teams.
It's not fair.
Is it though? Are you
because now
you
you
want-
get what
but-
we got this week, right? You have Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson both messing up their own teams that they worked on.
I agree.
Basically, have to just like get whoever's
hire
out
within,
there.
hire within, and then yeah.
Sure, hire within or get whoever's out there while everyone else has already been doing their is 2 interviews deep. With
But
all
that's
their
my
candidates.
point. Just
Right,
like a
that's
team,
the point.
just like a team that loses a bunch of games has the first overall pick, you get your first selection of choices, because your team is shit.
Right, but
to
this
then
isn't
create
building the
competitive
roster.
advantage.
These are the
They're also not done with their
coaches.
jobs. You're picking off
That- see,
coaches
that
that
I-
are still.
No, I feel
coaching.
like that's the most like important part of this entire fucking conversation. So what I was trying to reenact for one like that is, so I'm your coach. We're gonna win a Super Bowl this year. But by the way, I have an interview tomorrow. I might not be a coach next year, but we're gonna win a Super Bowl right now.
Yeah. No, I agree.
That's some twisted shit. It makes no sense.
Right.
Me as a player, I'm like, okay, like yeah,
you're
coach.
outta here, yeah.
Like I know you're out of here next year. Like this kind of
like this doesn't matter to you in the end. Yeah.
Right, it doesn't really
Let's
matter.
Get that out of the way. The Lions had to agree
Yes.
to let their coaches interview, but it's also like
It's fucked up
if
if
they
you block it.
decline, right? If they block it, everybody looks at you like no one's gonna want to work for you anymore.
right. They're like, oh, so you're forcing us to stay here or lose a
right.
job.
The
But
system's flawed.
It's a flawed system.
it's a very fixable. It's very fixable.
Just don't let them write.
Just don't let 'em until the season's
tampering,
over.
Like a tampering rule.
I'll be
Until-
honest with you. I don't agree with the end of the season, because I do think that the bad teams should have a competitive advantage to get their guys. But I
you
think
could
the
hire
teams
off other teams that aren't in the playoff.
exactly. So I think the teams that once they get eliminated, now you could start the interview process with the coordinator.
But
if
why
you
should
so
the bad
choose,
teams get an advantage for being bad?
because
That doesn't
how do
make
you
sense.
create competitive like?
You already have a draft, Matt.
They're already,
competitive
I
they're
balance.
already
I get
getting an
that, but it's the
advantage by
same
their
thing. You have a draft,
pick.
you now have to pick.
Right, yeah.
You have to get great coaches too.
Should
you don't
there
have a
be- should
great
there be
team if you don't have
coach
great
draft?
coaches.
Let's just start a coach draft.
I mean, I
I
guess,
don't think
but
the bad teams should be in an advantage for who they could hire because they're bad. That doesn't make sense.
I think it makes perfect sense. You want to create parity in the league. That's the point. That's why the draft
No,
exists.
we've never seen that in any other sport like basketball, baseball. It's not like the best teams fire their coaches
The
to get
offseason
other
starts
good
when
coaches.
the offseason starts. Like, it's not as soon as you lose, you're in the offseason while the season is still going. Like, just
Right.
the whole thing doesn't make sense.
Like they're
The offseason should
Right.
start when it's the off season.
So I get that, but at the same time, you need all of your coaches in place way prior to any free agent moves, any draft, like anything
Right,
like
so
that.
you'll-
So
you'll have
you
time
need
for
as
that.
much time as possible to then set up your future. Like the good organizations
Right, so now the Chiefs
aren't losing
are
the
at-
main people.
The Chiefs are at a disadvantage. Let's just, the Chiefs obviously have their guys, but let's just use them for an example. The Chiefs are at a disadvantage for starting their offseason because they won.
Yes.
I get
That
both
doesn't make
sides. No,
sense.
I get both sides because you're saying like
Why are
it
you
creates a
penalizing
balance.
the winners?
You just won. If you're such a great organization, and all the great organizations don't need to worry about being at a disadvantage to hire coaches because they have already built a great infrastructure to promote within. That's number one. Number two, you're losing coaches. They need to then go to worse teams because those worse teams have to become better for competitive balance within the league. That is the structure of anything, though. Any of these leagues, you want parity, you want competitive balance.
I think a perfect in between of all this is
But I don't
until
think
a team's
but-
eliminated, they shouldn't be able to have interviews.
But I don't think exactly. I don't
think
think
that's
you
a
should.
perfect
I don't think you
balance.
should be able to interview anybody until they're done and over with their personal
the
season.
only teams that are looking for head coaches are the bad teams already.
Yes, but that's why I'm saying if you cannot. That
also that's allowing bad teams to take away from good teams while they're still trying to beat good finish season, which is kind of
That's
fucked
the
up.
problem.
It's
so
kinda fucked
exactly,
up.
and I'm agreeing
Lions
with
are trying to
your.
be great
Look at
right
the Lions.
now.
The Lions are
Yeah.
at such a disadvantage because
because this situation is happening.
And they still lost.
they have
Right.
great coordinators. But you're saying they have to have not two great coordinators. They have to have 4 great coordinators because they're a good team. So they have to have 2 great coordinators right now, and they have to have 2 great coordinators lined up already within the organization.
Or are you ready? Are you ready for this?
Stupid.
Or if you're a great coordinator, you are not forced to then go take a job. you can wait until one of these great teams loses their coordinators and then think, okay, I'm going to go interview for that job after they're done, after these guys get poached. They don't have to take those jobs. That is their decision to then go take. Like, for example,
because there's this whole coaching cycle going on, and all these teams are interviewing while the Lions are playing games, and they can't interview
but
people.
For example,
they can't interview anyone because they are playing football while the Bears, the Jets, the Falcons, all these teams are interviewing people. The Lions can't interview, and they know. We've known since day one, since when was the first game? September 9th was the first game of the season? We've known since September 9th that the Lions were most likely losing both of their coordinators.
Right.
Yes.
Ben Johnson was the hottest name on the ticket in the offseason.
So the Lions are at a disadvantage because they're still playing football? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
But here's my thing.
And they still didn't get past the second round, by the way. They're getting both their coordinators poached, and they still lost. They didn't even make it to the championship game, and they still lost their coordinators.
If the Lions were to start interviewing people right now, before last week, while they were still playing, what would happen? They would have been tampering because their season's still going on? Why can the Falcons interview someone because their season's over, but the Lions
But I can't replace my guys knowing they're going to leave.
Right. So there's the coaching cycle shouldn't start on what is it called? The carousel?
Coaching carousel.
The carousel should not start until every team is eliminated and can figure things out.
I don't agree with that because of the fact that every great coordinator is then going to want to take the best job possible, and now you still keep the best teams in the league with all the best.
But the best coordinators become head coaches.
You would get super team coaching staffs.
The best coordinator isn't taking the best job because Ben Johnson's the best coordinator on the market, and the best job is to be the offensive coordinator for the Lions. But he's instead going to the Chicago
But what
Bears.
job gives you more money?
That's a great point.
No. But what job gives you more money? What job gives you more title?
But you're talking about making we're not talking about money right now.
The best coordinators are going to take the head coaching jobs, which are only available to the bad teams.
I agree, but here's the thing. Why the fuck would you save hiring all of the coordinators in the NFL for after the season to where every coordinator is going to want to go to the best teams?
That's shame on the bad teams. Be better. Be better.
And then, hold up. In any job, let me ask you a question. In any job, what is your goal?
To get to the top.
Exactly. So Ben Johnson going to the Bears as the title and pay now upgrading. Right. Obviously, you're going to take a different job.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, you're going to go to a shit organization, but I'm getting paid more, and now I have the title.
Right, but that wasn't your point. Your point wasn't about the money and the title. Your point was about the best job, meaning
we know why they take the job.
The better team.
We understand that.
Ben Johnson, the best name on the market, is not going to a super team.
And now are you ready for this?
He already has the best job.
So, as the head coach of the team, you have full autocracy to hire your own people, right? So now you, as the head coach, part of your job position is to now hire coordinators.
Okay.
And that makes the best coaches in the NFL, the ones that could spot talent, even if they're within the organization or outside of the organization, you poach them and upgrade their role.
Yeah, we're not disagreeing.
But that's what I'm saying. That makes the best coaches.
Right, but why? I agree with you. The best organizations hire the best guys. Correct, sure. But why are we giving those best organizations a disadvantage for being great?
Competitive to create parity within the league.
They're getting enough. All right, we're back in action. There was a quick cut somewhere in there. We don't know where it is. You guys know where it is because you were watching, but a quick cut somewhere. We had some technical difficulties. We're having a rough time with all the technical stuff today, but back in action. We should be able to figure this thing out. In conclusion, I think the coaching cycle should all start at the same time when the season's over. Dean's about somewhere in the middle. Matty J thinks somewhere in the middle as well. Matty J thinks it's the bad team should get a competitive advantage.
Yes.
And
I'm with Dean. I think it should be somewhere like right in the middle. I don't think it should just be like fucking free ball.
No,
I think it should be.
I mean,
we're in the same spot.
I kind of agree with what the premise is.
But it shouldn't be what it is now, I think, was what we're all saying.
But the Lions choked. The coordinators were not prepared for this game against the Commanders. Clearly, they were showing in the game. Jared Goff, is he a franchise quarterback? Is he not a franchise quarterback? I don't know. I don't think he is. But the story of this game is those goddamn Commanders, baby, and Jayden Daniels. And listen, there's all the stats and the stories about how great he's been for a rookie quarterback. Is this the best rookie quarterback season of all time? Let's take a step back for a second. Let's throw the rookie tab away. Jayden Daniels has been the best quarterback in the playoffs so far, and it's not really close, honestly.
Yeah.
He's played mistake-free football like a Josh Allen, like a Patrick Mahomes, but he's also filling up the box score. And this guy, week after week after week, just proves that he is as cool as a cucumber. He is as cool as the other side of the pillow when you're hot at night. And, you know, I thought it was a great thing that we had Tom Brady on the call for this game, because Tom Brady, he's the coolest cucumber there ever was when things get tough. He really was. And Tom Brady was, you know, seeing it in real time. And Tom Brady was blown away, honestly, on the call. And, I mean, I tried to tell y'all for months and months, this Commanders team with Jayden Daniels at the helm, they could beat anyone in the NFC. I got laughed at. I got called a fraud. Matty J said there's no chance this team wins a playoff game. They've won 2.
Wow.
And they're 1 away from the Super Bowl.
Got 2 of them tanks.
I mean, I think his poise is what's been the most intriguing about Jayden Daniels. His best trait so far is how well he's collected himself and conducted himself in the playoffs. He looks like a pro's pro. He looks like he looks like the part. He looks like an NFL quarterback. He looks like a superstar quarterback from day one.
Like, I know these are lofty comparisons, but it is Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes-esque, where, you know, they didn't score first in this game. Oh, shit, the Lions scored first. I know the Lions bandwagoners were thinking, it's going to be a Lions blowout. They're going to punch him in the mouth, someone said. But me, a guy who knows Jayden Daniels and knows what he's capable of, I didn't flinch, because it's Jayden fucking Daniels. He does this. Like, he does this, and he plays perfect football. He plays perfect football. He's playing the quarterback position over the last, 7-8 weeks. He's playing the quarterback position better than anyone in the league. And it really isn't that close. Dating back to the end of the regular season, it's not close. So,
yeah, I mean, we're watching a superstar, like, become a true superstar in front of our eyes. I mean, we all say it. The stars are made in the playoffs. And you come out and you have, you could say, the 2 best performances from a quarterback in the playoffs so far. And it's all by Jayden. And like I said, he didn't just come in and be great. He came in and turned the entire outlook of a franchise and made it do a 180. You got a new GM, you got a new owner, but the quarterback is the most important thing in, you could argue, all of sports. And Jayden came in and did this and has brought them to the NFC Championship, and you could say put them on the back, because that's basically what he's done to this point. The defense forced a bunch of turnovers, which was huge in this game. Mike Sanders still had a damn game. Shout out the Michigan Wolverine. He's a dog.
Quan Martin with a pick 6.
Quan Martin with a pick 6. I mean, there's young pieces on that Commanders defense too, and they're going to have cap space soon. And look, they're going to build this right. I said they wouldn't be able to win a playoff game. They've won 2, and I think that's, look, they could lose and get the brakes beat off them by the Eagles, and it's a success of a season, and nothing else matters.
All we could say is good things about them.
Exactly.
They could lose by 50 next
exactly.
week, and we can't get up here and say anything.
They could have lost
obviously,
this week.
We have to analyze the game, and, you know, if Jayden Daniels plays like shit, we'll have to talk about it, obviously. But in totality, all we could say is good things about this team.
They could have lost this week, and the same thing would have been said. You weren't supposed to win this game. You weren't supposed to be there. And here you were. You won it when you were a heavy underdog, and you pulled it out. So, I mean, look, what's one more but the toughest test is on the way. The toughest test is on the way. So we're going to have to see how they respond to that one. But in this one, Jayden Daniels is special. The Commanders' defense just keeps improving.
I mean,
in a vacuum, are you taking the Lions or the Eagles? The Lions are a better team than the Eagles.
No, they're not. People need to stop
given the
saying
injuries,
that.
no.
Yes.
I think pre-injured, the Eagles are like the healthiest team in the NFL right now. So
pre-injury Lions,
you could have a conversation.
I think it's like literally 50-50.
Yeah.
They would have been in the NFC Championship together, I think, and we would have been able to see that. But
I mean, you know, and again, Jayden Daniels deserves all the credit in the world. It's my brother, honestly. Like, he's family. He changed my life. He makes the world a better place. But given this is the Lions team we saw with the injuries, this is who the Lions were in this game. The Commanders were the better team in this game. the Commanders were the better team. The Commanders' defense played better. Obviously, Jahmyr Gibbs is, not a normal human being, but the Commanders finally, after weeks and weeks and weeks, Jayden Daniels got some help in that run game from Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler.
He was running hard.
I mean, B-Rob had 77 yards, averaged over 5 a carry. Eckler gave you 6 carries and averaged 7.8 a carry. He had some big plays in the receiving game, too. Diami Brown breaking out onto the scene after being in the NFL for 5 years. I mean, this was again, Jayden Daniels at the forefront, the leading factor. But, I mean, this was a complete team win from the Commanders. Dorrance Armstrong in the backfield making plays. Those 2 interior defensive linemen who, like I said last week, they got it out the mud, Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne. You got Dante Fowler out there making plays. You got Bobby Wagner, who just, similar to Travis Kelce, just doesn't age. And when the playoffs comes around, he just gets better and better and better. And, this Commanders team is fun, man. And Dan Quinn sticking to his guns. I'm not going to lie. I'm yelling at that TV, telling them to take their 3. I'm an old head. I'm a believer in take your 3. I'm not going to lie, but Dan Quinn, and that's why you go for it on 4th down, because you could get them confused and maybe get 12 guys on the field.
That's exactly what
It's
you get
that's
them
just horrible.
confused and draw a penalty. That's why you go for it. And again, when you have a quarterback like Jayden Daniels, who's as cool as a cucumber and gets better the deeper you get into the game, and gets better the deeper you get into the series and the downs. Jayden Daniels is probably a better, I don't know the exact stats, but Jayden Daniels is probably significantly better on 4th down than he is on 1st down.
They're the best 4th down team in the NFL.
Arguably of all time. He just gets better and better as the game goes on and as the drives go on. And that's, like you said, that's superstar traits. That's traits we look for in a lot of these guys that we want to jolt into that top 5. Jayden Daniels has all of it, and it's impressive, man. It's impressive.
Yo,
man.
honestly, do you think if MVP wasn't,
Was the entire season including
I'm saying if Jayden Daniels wasn't obviously going to be Rookie of the Year, he would be MVP this year?
No, it was
No,
Joshua
just
Lamar.
because it's the regular. Jayden Daniels had a few weeks in the regular season where he was if he had a rib injury and he stopped.
That's right, yeah.
He stopped running the ball a little bit. He had a few down weeks, especially for fantasy. But
People were talking about Bo Nix for a couple weeks. Bro.
right, yeah, he had a couple of down weeks. But if Jayden Daniels doesn't have that rib injury and is playing at the level he's basically played at from the first 3 weeks, and then week 11 on, there was just a 4 or 5 week stretch where it was kind of meh. But if he's playing at the level, and based on how he was before the injury and how he was, a few weeks after he healed from the injury, because you could tell he was healed from the injury by the uptick in his rushing volume. Them letting him run the ball basically tells you, all right, he's healthy now. So I would go out on a limb here and say that the struggles was due to the injury. So if that injury doesn't happen, he's firmly in the MVP race.
Yeah,
I mean, like you were about to say, if this is an award based on the season as a whole, with the playoffs included, where we stand right now going into conference championship week, he is the MVP.
I agree.
He's been that good these past 2 weeks in
least
the
a playoff
playoffs when it
MVP.
mattered the most.
Definitely a playoff MVP, for sure.
Yeah,
Say that much.
he's easily the MVP of the playoffs. So
It'd be
far.
between he and Josh.
Mm-hmm.
It'd
It's
be
not even
between he and Josh.
close. Respectfully, love Josh,
I
but
don't know.
it's not even close.
But,
It's not even close.
But yeah, I mean, look, Jayden's been awesome. The Commanders, NFC Championship now. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. You're going to face the best team that you've faced at this point in the season. Arguably the best roster in the NFL. So
Yeah. And then the last game of divisional round, the Eagles at home hosted the Rams. It got close there at the end, 28-22, Eagles won. I'm going to keep it 100 stacks. We watched some of the first half at the tailgate. We watched the last drive online walking into the stadium. Didn't watch much of the game, but what does it come down to at the end of the day? Turnovers, the theme of the weekend. The Rams had 2 costly turnovers, 2 fumbles. Kyron had 1, Stafford had 1. The Eagles didn't turn the ball over.
And a
Eagles won.
dagger Saquon Barkley
Yeah,
run.
that's really all she wrote.
I'm so happy for him. I really am. I mean, look, but
So what Odell posted?
I didn't actually, but I know Danny and Sterling Shepard were in his box, which, hey, yo. They were in his press box up there. So that, honestly, as a Giant fan, I had to change the wording. As a Giant fan, that did genuinely make me happy. I'm so happy to see Saquon running wild. He was never going to be able to do this on the Giants. We knew this. As Giants fans, we all knew this. And look, you don't pay him. You don't pay him because he wouldn't be able to be the special version of Saquon on the Giants because it was a perfect marriage of an elite offensive line and one of the greatest talents you've ever seen at the running back position. And, I mean, look, if he goes and wins, I'm rooting. I hate to say it. I really wish I didn't have to say this, but I am rooting for the Philadelphia Eagles to win the NFC Championship because I really want to see my boy.
Well, I
want to see Saquon Barkley win a ring, bro.
they're two
I
divisional
do.
rivals. I could see
Or
it.
Josh, either one. Well, time out. Who was playing on our team? Who was on our team?
Rooting for the Eagles over the Bills is a nasty word.
That is crazy.
I
Another reason why you should be kicked out of Bills Mafia.
don't.
You're a fraud, bro.
I don't.
Continuously.
You're
Over and
a
over and
fraud,
over.
bro.
No. I
If you
said
try
what
to
I
claim
said.
anything, you're getting got.
I said what I said. I want Saquon Barkley to go get a ring. I know a lot of Giant fans have hate for him. I
Over
don't have hate
Josh?
for him.
Because only one can win.
I know. I don't know. I don't know. The fact that it's a question, I don't know. But
Yeah, you're a fraud, man.
yeah, nah. So all in all, I mean, the Eagles, they get it done. It's an elite pass rush.
I feel like as a Giants fan, you should low-key probably want Josh Allen, actually, over Saquon. Yeah.
Does
Watching
anyone
your
else have
division
any,
rival.
thoughts
I don't
on
really
this
watch
game
this
right
game.
now? Yeah.
Not gonna lie to
I
you.
watched the game. It was fun to watch, but I don't know. I wasn't that like moved by the game like that. I
Yeah.
mean, actually, no, I was moved at times. I think the game was a little closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I didn't think that
Stafford
the
made it
Rams would
close
keep it
at the
that
end,
close.
man. Stafford made it close at the end.
Yeah.
I thought they were really gonna pull it out
I
when
thought
Puka had
so.
that
That's-
sideline
yeah,
catch, bro.
yeah.
I was in my.
Yeah.
That's the one part I turned it on at that point. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, they're gonna do it. Just never
Yeah,
happened.
Jalen Carter at the end of the game just making some plays, man. And that was all she wrote.
Yo, Jared Verse, man.
he's
Yo,
That's a guy we could
he's
talk
the
about.
one. He's the one.
Bro.
He's really one
He's
of
the
the
most
ones. bro.
dominant bull rush in the league right now, and he's a freak.
Bro,
fast
he's
as
what,
heck.
22 years
Yeah.
old, bro? Like, what the?
Yeah, he's the one.
I need a jersey of his, dude.
Yeah.
He's cool. He's so cool too, because he went out before the game and he's like, I got to get me that bonus. Like he's like, I'm gonna go get me that bonus, and just taunting Eagles fans because they were all. He was having beef with them a little bit all week. So yeah, man,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah, I saw Stafford's wife post that she doesn't know if it's the end or not for him. So Matt Stafford, if it's the end, thanks for the memories, Matt Stafford.
I don't think it'll be it. I think he's gonna be back.
he's got
So
more
good.
ball in him, man.
Yeah.
He's got more ball in
They're
him.
also getting better again.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, they're close. Like
They're on their way up after rebuilding.
they need him though.
Dude, next year they're a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah.
This D-line gets another year older after being the youngest in the NFL. Like, well, what are we? All they need is corners, and I'm sure they'll get them.
They were really like a few plays away from
Yes.
beating what everyone says is the best roster in the NFL. Like they were down there, and it was Matt Stafford in the red zone with the game on the line. Normally he does come through, and it's not his fault, but like. I agree with you. Once they got down there, it was like typical Matt Stafford. Like, and they were only down 6-2, so a touchdown essentially won the game.
Right.
So yeah, I thought he was gonna get it done, but yeah,
He'll be back. They'll be
He
back.
was great in this game, Matt Stafford. So I think he has more ball on him. But
I completely
but
agree.
if it's the end, thank you.
Yeah, shout
Thank
out
you,
Matt
Kadeem.
Stafford.
Thanks,
I think he's
Matt.
got more ball on him.
Thank you,
I
Kadeem.
think he'll be here.
All right, are we doing our predictions now? Or we want to do them next week.
We got them up and running. We might as well.
All right. These are our conference championship predictions. First game, Sunday. The Washington Commanders, the surprise team in the NFL, travels to Philly to play the Philadelphia Eagles.
Wants to go first?
I'll go first. Yeah, this is where the run ends. Jayden Daniels ain't winning this game.
Okay.
The Philadelphia Eagles are going to smack the shit out of the Washington Commanders. You're in for a rude awakening, buddy. Like a real rude awakening. You played a Detroit Lions team that was beat up on defense, had number 40 running around with no idea what he was doing. Me and Chris kept clowning the dude because he didn't belong in the game. There were a lot of injuries there, and
It's number 40, bro.
number 40 on the Lions, bro. Who was that guy?
Who is it?
I don't know. Some backup safety came in when like Malafanu got hurt, and he was just wearing number 40. We didn't know who he was.
No idea who he
They
was.
don't have
was,
Jamal Adams anymore?
No.
No.
He was like a UDFA, and it was his first snaps of the season.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, bro. I had no idea what he was doing out there. you're not going against that anymore. You're going against the best defensive line in football. You're going against arguably the best secondary in football with, one of our boys, someone that I lay claim to, Cooper DeJean. And a lot of us like to lay claim to. So putting on for the culture, and all in all, I just...
What?
Okay.
Bro. What?
What?
What happened?
I'm not looking back there.
What do you mean, what culture? Yes. He's the one and only. Yeah.
That's crazy.
He and Riley Moss. Yeah, they put on for the culture.
Okay.
White DBs.
Okay.
But yeah, so I think the Eagles are going to smack him around.
Okay. I only say this because of the Super Bowl logo theory. Every year, we get the logo colorways for the Super Bowl. And usually up until last year, for the last 4 years, the Super Bowl logo colors have been the teams versus each other's colors. This year, it's red, and it's like a greenish color in that logo. So if I'm going to go off the Super Bowl theory because I can't do any stat-based picks, I'm going to pick the Eagles. I feel like I said, because there's a little bit of green in that logo this year. For all those people who are with the conspiracies and shit, I hope you agree. I'm going Eagles on this game. Strictly because of the conspiracy.
I'm gonna let you break the ice on your pick. I'm not gonna be. I'll follow up you.
Jayden Daniels just keeps going out there and proving everyone wrong. He keeps going out there and proving to everyone why he's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. And he's going to continue to do that against these Philadelphia Eagles. I don't care that the Eagles are the better roster on paper. The Commanders just have that feel. It kind of feels similar to a former Eagles team, a Nick Foles-led team, where they just had the magic on their side. And Jayden Daniels brings that magic. He's going to be cool as a cucumber. He won't get rattled by that scary Eagles defensive line. And the Commanders are going to win this game. Commanders Nation, let's command.
Yeah, I'm going with the Red Hot Commanders. They are so good. The Burgundy Hot Commanders. They've been so good as of late. Jayden Daniels is balling out. He'd be the MVP of the postseason if there was one so far. Yeah, I just think the Eagles haven't shown me over their first 2 games. Pete?
No.
Hold on.
No, I got you. Go. No, I'm excited.
The Eagles haven't been as good as I thought they would be their first couple games. They left it close against the Rams. I think they could have won by more against the Packers. I think the Commanders have a real shot this week.
Okay. I really do, I feel like in my gut feeling is that the Commanders are going to win. But I'm just going off the conspiracy of the Eagles thing. I feel
Stay
like
on that side, man.
My
feel like-
gut feeling.
I feel like the Commanders are going to win, but I think the whole
Don't be
conspiracy
Matty
thing,
J.
that the
Don't
Eagles,
be Matty J.
No,
I'm not. I'm being Pete.
Yeah, pick against me, please,
I'm being
because
Pete.
you're all going to be severely wrong.
I know, we've been all postseason, right?
Severely wrong. I hate to say it, but yes, you all are going to be incredibly wrong.
Severely,
If
bro.
you pick against me, go ahead. You can.
Yeah, let's pick against
Right,
him, bro.
just like you were right about the Ravens, right?
Yeah, but just
you were
like I
right.
was right about the Eagles last round when someone else took the Rams. But the Eagles are going to dog walk the Commanders. They did it weeks ago when I said they were going to do it weeks ago. They were on the road to.
Yeah,
so hard
yes-
to get a victory.
yeah,
last
yes,
fall.
yesterday's
Bills
price is
Mafia
not
ain't
this
accepting
week's
you,
price.
bro.
That's not what I'm trying to
Bills
do. I don't
Mafia
give a
ain't
shit
accepting
about
you,
that
bro.
because watch what happens next. But anyways,
We're not going to allow it.
you don't have to. But anyways, you played against a beat-up Detroit Lions team. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. You walked around them. What happened the 2 times? And if you want to bring up the Kenny Pickett game, go ahead. But what was the score before Jalen Hurts went down? They got boat raced in the first one, and we're getting boat raced in the second one. And the same shit is going to happen in the third
Never
one.
heard that before.
I know.
Getting both.
So,
Just like how the Ravens boat raced the Bills in the regular season, right?
I've never seen a boat race before.
Right? No, right?
Have you really?
Yeah, they're cool.
Just like the Ravens boat raced the Bills in the regular season, right? We're getting just based off our picks off the regular season. That worked well for you.
well,
It
this
worked well.
roster is significantly better than the Commanders roster, and that is it.
I can't
The
argue
offensive
that.
line is
The
not.
NFL playoffs.
The offensive line is not going to
they
be
can
able to
have
hold up against the best defensive line in football. That's just that simple.
I think the Commanders are the hottest team in football right now, and I think that momentum is going to carry them into a victory this week.
Terry McLaurin is going to be on clamps. And if you think Diami Brown is about to go off against an Eagles team, you are in for a rude awakening.
Leave Jayden Daniels.
Doesn't matter. They'll have a game plan for that. Don't worry about that.
Next.
So,
Next.
All right, and then the game we all been waiting for, round 4 now in the playoffs. Round 4, the Bills travel to Arrowhead to play the Chiefs.
4's mine.
Good, bro.
Bills Mafia. I'm so sorry. I really am.
Digging deeper.
I really hope that you guys can truly accept the fact that I'm picking the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes to beat the living shit out of you guys.
Okay,
So,
all right.
sorry, Buffalo, but I'm turning full heel here.
Oh, God.
The Kansas City Chiefs,
Oh, God.
4-0 against the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs. Josh Allen ain't getting over his demons over there.
All right. All right.
You guys wanted me to be full heel, I'll be full heel. Happily.
Whoa.
Okay.
Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Couple things for me here, okay? I didn't go to the Bills game Sunday. If I did, I'd probably have a very biased opinion. But we're going to go back to conspiracy. There's no blue in that logo this year. And I've learned my lesson time and time again. Every single time I bet against Mahomes, I lose. So I'm not going to bet against Mahomes again this year. I would rather see Josh Allen get the ring, but I think the Chiefs are going to pull through because the Chiefs are going to chief. That's it for me. I got nothing more deep or emotional than that. That's very straightforward on that.
So, I've always been a Mahomes guy. I liked him since he came out the draft. I liked him when he sat for a year. I said, Mahomes, this guy throws 60 miles an hour. I've never seen this before. He's a baseball player. His dad played for the Mets. Love Patrick Mahomes. I'm also a Jets fan. I hate the Bills. I'd want to see nothing but to see them lose. But I've become a true believer in the Josh Allen renaissance. I think he has now become the complete quarterback that we thought he could be. And I think the Bills are going to beat the Chiefs this week for the first time in the playoffs ever.
Kid's going to go back on his fandom now.
Bills Mafia, you guys accepted me into your home this past weekend for our big win against the Baltimore Ravens. When Four Eyes over there picked the Ravens.
Bro.
And begged for forgiveness. I don't need forgiveness because I've been riding with you guys the whole time. And I agree with Dean. The way Josh Allen has mastered the quarterback positions this season, it's comparable to Patrick Mahomes. And the way our defense is playing, the way we're running the ball, we're going into Arrowhead and we're beating the Chiefs. And we're going to the Super Bowl. Bills Mafia, let's go.
You know, the Bills know a little something about 0-4. That's their record in the Super Bowl, too. So, 0-4 in the Super Bowl and 0-4 against Patrick Mahomes.
He's the same kid who says the Bills are his second team.
Yeah,
He's
it's
an
over
Eagles
now.
fan. He's an Eagles
It's over
fan.
now.
He's an Eagles and Giants fan.
Bill, you don't want the Bills to accept me? Fine, I'll
You
go
really
full.
waited 4 years just to hop off at the worst.
I'll
time.
go full heel on them.
It's like
That's
that
perfectly
meme
fine.
that's digging for diamonds, and then you just stop right before the diamonds.
Yeah, but guess what? Pat Mahomes going back to the Super Bowl.
Not gonna happen.
It's not happening, bro.
It is. So
Maybe
Bills
next year.
Mafia.
It's Josh Allen time.
It's
Nah,
so
this
hard
year.
to bet against Patrick Mahomes. It's so hard to just get myself to do it. So.
Yeah,
I
mean,
want to see Josh Allen win, though.
I've wanted
That's
to
what
pick
I
the
want.
Bills all season. Again, go watch the stuff I've said. I want to pick the Bills so bad, but I can't bet against Mahomes. I can't bet against Mahomes. But I went to the Bills game. They accepted me like I was one of their own. I have to return the favor to Bills Mafia, and I have to pick them.
So it's a pity pick?
I believe they're going to win.
No, you don't.
I feel horrible betting against Mahomes. I don't feel good about it. It's fucking Patrick Mahomes. But, we have disagreed about this all season for whatever reason. I don't know why you feel that way, but I've said all season this is the Bills' best chance to beat the Chiefs.
It is their best
You've
chance.
said the
Yeah.
opposite. You've said this isn't their best chance, but
If it's gonna-
this really is their best chance to
It is their best
beat
chance,
the
yeah.
Chiefs. I think they're a complete football team. I think their defense they have a great defense that forces turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen is Josh Allen, and
It's going to be a very unpredictable.
Great is stretching it. Great is so stretching.
Two
that
unpredictable
Major Boy
offenses
Lamar
facing
turned
each
the
other.
ball over twice.
word. And Lamar, they gashed them, so don't matter. But
Well, those are our picks.
here's
They gashed him. Fuck
Pat Mahomes
cares?
don't do that. Pat Mahomes don't do that. That's the problem. Pat Mahomes does
Josh
not
Allen
do
don't do that either, though. Now he's a different man.
He's a
that.
changed guy.
Chiefs defense.
The evolution.
The
In
evolution.
your words, the evolution.
Yeah, I'm not
Of
saying
Josh Allen.
neither team is turning the ball over in this game.
That's a hot take.
Neither team. That's not why either team is going to lose. So, but
Oh. We make our picks based off the regular season, right? The Eagles beat the Commanders in the regular season. Regular season, what was the deciding factor in the Chiefs-Bills game? Number 17.
may I ask you a question?
Yes.
Have the Bills not owned the Chiefs in the regular season?
Sure.
Who's owned who in the playoffs?
Have the Eagles owned the Commanders in the regular season?
Yes.
Who's owned who in the playoffs? No one's
We
owned
don't know
anyone.
yet.
Right.
Well, actually, the Eagles historically have, but we don't know yet.
We don't know yet. Josh Allen. JA17. That's what the kids say now. The first two initials and the number. JD5. JD5 and JA17. We here, gang.
I hate that they're trying to give everybody new nicknames.
The
Yeah.
worst one is
They don't work.
JH10, bro.
JH.
JH10. Leave that alone, bro.
Jeez, man.
JD5 rolls off the tongue.
JD5
man.
is easy.
JD5
That's a
is
good one.
tough, yeah.
JA17 is just not. It's not it.
PM15.
PM15.
Just call him 15, bro. Don't call him. Don't do all that. Nah, this weekend's gonna be
Bills
fun, man.
Mafia, come on.
Both these games are gonna get crazy.
Folded, bro.
Bills.
I'm excited for this week.
I'm full heel now, so Kansas City Chiefs are gonna go win that game.
Yeah.
But all right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all of our socials. Enjoy the conference championships this weekend. We'll be back with our best bets as we have been the last few weeks. Dean, thanks for coming. Pete, thanks for being on. Nick, thanks for being behind the sticks.
We have
All that.
a fun video dropping at some point this week. I don't know when I'm going to get it out, but a fun video about the Jets. We know a lot of you guys are Jets fans. Dean and Peter are Jets fans. So we have a fun video about the Jets offseason dropping at some point this week. So be on the lookout for that. It's probably one of the more fun times we've had making a video recently. So it's good stuff. Be on the lookout for that. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I don't know. Obviously, I have to go back and edit this, so I don't know how bad it's going to be. Hopefully, it's not that bad and you guys don't even realize it's just me talking about it, but sorry about it. We'll be better.
No one's gonna notice more than us.
Yeah.
Let us know if you like that Jets video whenever it drops too. Be sure to keep an eye out for that. That's going to be a series, so keep in mind we're going to try to do those more than once. Thank you guys so much for watching, and with that,
That was
Ball
ball
Ball game.